Good evening and welcome to another Monday Night Live, second time around. I've just finished eating a banana and James has just fixed the audio. Welcome along. It's been a fantastic weekend of golf. Ryan Fox winning the PGA Tour, getting a win under his belt, courtesy of his ranking from the DP World Tour. What a great achievement that is.
Yeah, I mean, was it 2 out of 4 events? Now one a lesser event, but equally speaking, he's 2 playoffs as well. Get it done under pressure. Nice seeing Matteo Manassero up there as well.
Absolutely. They ran a story on him and, you know, goodness me, from winning the PGA Championship at a young age and then losing his game through the yips and then coming back and doing what he's doing now is incredible. Testament to his deep belief in his own ability and being able to play the game well. Well, hopefully you are all looking forward to the US Open this week. We are going to play a couple of holes and smash it around there. We're going to do that early on this evening, but we're going to continue to answer your questions as usual, so keep them coming in. James is on the discs over there, so he's going to get all of our best sides in. We won't be any of the bad sides, and we hope to entertain. But let's have a little think about this US Open. What is your thoughts on this 300-plus yard par 3?
Am I allowed to say bollocks?
Absolutely.
Yeah, bollocks.
Bollocks,
I think, look, it's they've had long par 3s there before, and they've had I can't remember which course it was, they turned a par 4 into a par 3, or moved a tee right up, made it a drivable par 4. They do monkey around with things at majors every now and then. Ultimately, it's still the fewest shots wins. Are the best par 3s 280, 300-yard par 3s? Are they even 240-yard par 3s? Okay, Cypress Point, that's one you can maybe make an argument for, but they tend to be postage stamp, 12th at Augusta. They're the short ones. Merion, that very short one at Merion. They're the ones we all remember. He says, struggling to remember some of them. But look, ultimately, it's still the fewest shots wins, but I'm not sure that one's going to stick in the memory for a good reason.
I think something that doesn't get talked about that often is that when you get a short iron in your hand, you expect to be accurate with it. I think that's stepping onto any par 3 tee. You immediately put yourself in a place where I need to hit a good one here. And I think when you step onto a par 3 tee, knowing it's a driver or a 3-wood or a long iron, immediately you feel a little bit different. I think the pressure is way less compared to a postage stamp where you've got a wedge in your hand and you're looking to hit it on a really small green. I think before you've even taken the shot, forget the shot itself, you feel more pressurised. Oddly, because it's a wedge and not because your expectation with a driver and a 3-wood and a hybrid is way less than what it would be with a wedge. So I think that is as big a part of playing short par 3s. And as you rightly say, there's nothing out there. There's no par 3 out there that I can think of that I go, oh, yeah, long par 3, that's a good one.
Yeah, and I think normally the short ones have got absolute blooming carnage around the green. They've got hot bunkers, they've got water, they've got the drama there because, as you say, it's like a short putt, isn't it? You should hole it, you should hit the green. Yet you know if you miss, one, you feel like a pillock for missing it, but because you should hit it with a short iron. But it seems to heighten things. As you say, you might stretch it out to there's one at Medina, 13th. It's a 230-odd yarder, but it's downhill over water. It's still a long iron for those guys. It's not. I mean, they're going to be getting 3-woods out. And at the PGA, there was that one at Quail Hollow that was sort of 250 odd that they were laying up from because long was screwed. Well, who wants to see them lay up to the front of the green? Certainly not me. So, yeah, I think that's probably what we're going to see is they're going to try to miss it in the right spot.
Not sure that's what par 3 is all about.
Yeah,
though, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Well, come on, let's get cracking. Let's play a few holes. We're on the first tee.
You're up first.
Oh, I'm up first. Wonderful. Now, the news is that Simon's not hit 350 balls this evening.
Not one.
Not one. So it's a level playing field. Level playing field. Now this is the golf course that Mr. Doherty played with Tiger in the 3rd round, wasn't it?
Ah, yes.
This was that he would always pull out of the bag whenever we got into a sticky situation. You know, he'd always bring that one out.
Quite interesting. It's a semi-blind tee shot.
Yeah, over brow of a hill and down. I saw on YouTube that Bryson's already played this in a practice round, stuck it on his YouTube channel, birdied the first.
I did birdie first, yeah.
Birdied the first,
and then I mean, I think it's going to be brutal. The rough is meant to be brutal. Yeah. The greens are going to be, I read, 14 to 15 on the stimp.
Well, they had it on, I saw on some social media platforms, 16 on the stimp today. Yeah.
I mean, when you think it's twice as fast as most of the greens that most players watching will have played.
Yeah.
I can't even fathom what 14 is like on the
what
stimp.
that feels like, yeah.
16, it's
We're
like
gonna
putting on lino.
We're going to get to the questions in a moment. So we've got the laptops, iPads ready as usual. I can only see my one though. We'll get the other one in a moment. Yeah, we'll grab that in a second. Right, let's see if we can get one down here. Oh, he's come out the traps fast.
I mean, it's one of those where you just want to make, especially in the US Open where there's thick rough either side.
Have some of that.
What are you thinking on a first tee of the tournament? I mean, it's
all in. I'm driving is the strength of my game, so I'm kind of an all-in guy.
Yeah.
If I can hit driver, I will. Mm-hmm. Oh, look, little cheeky 304 down the first. It must be downhill.
It's the adrenaline.
Yeah.
The adrenaline. Right. Yeah, I know what you mean. Actually, it's kind of what I've been driving. He said, "Oh no, I've been driving it well." So actually, I would stand up on the first tee of a big tournament much more confident if I'm getting driver in hand. Sure. Actually, of just being able to. He says, before sticking it in the rough. But I mean, actually, what do we got? Looking down there, bunkers either side. I've just got to hit it straight, haven't you?
Yeah.
Bunkers either side.
Straight down. Hopefully, James might have a moment to grab the iPad.
Might be a bit right.
The graphics are very good on track now, aren't they?
Yeah, it's not a disastrous shot, but it's now in the thick rough.
You're in the rough. You're in the rough.
So what's that? It's about 2 foot wide of being playable.
Yeah. Oh well, 2 feet's a lot of length in show business. Do you know what I mean?
Thankfully, the rough that they've got programmed on this isn't as thick as the real stuff.
Yeah, Bryson in his YouTube video, it just looked hideous. Yeah. Just looked absolutely hideous.
Yes, it just went. Yeah. There's like 5 inches, I think, and it's consistent 5 inches. So we've got 215 out of rough, pins back edge.
We're in the game, folks.
Right. So I'm just going to have to. There's not a lot of spin on this. I'm just going to have to hack it out and hope it gets the. I think I'm just going to absolutely lasso a 6-iron to get it out of that line.
6-iron.
6-iron. But I'm playing for a bit of a flyer. It's a bit downhill, so it's 10 yards downhill. So pins back of the green. And it's easier for you to make contact off this lie than it is off the one that they've got on the course there. Right.
Well,
a reasonable swing.
Plenty of questions coming in. Oh, look, straight in the middle of the green. Look at that. Bosh. Have some of that. Have some of that.
So I set these on as firm and fast as I could. So they're 12 on the stimp and firm.
God, look at that. Look at that. That's a worldie you've just out of there.
Yeah, I'm going to. In real life, I'd 3-putt it from there.
That's an absolute worldie. You need to slow yourself down. What have I got left?
194, downhill 37 feet, so downhill 10, 12 yards.
So it's about 182. Any wind kicking around?
No, we left the wind off it. So it's mildly off the left.
I'm going to go with a strong 7-iron.
But I think it's going to be interesting to see what kind of player, Dustin won last time out. Lowry was up there last time.
Yeah.
And arguably
he's been playing well as well.
He's been playing well. He's been pushing, contending in majors, not quite getting over the line. But yeah, he's got to be feeling good about this course. And if it's thick, gnarly rough, he drives it well.
Get down.
Get down. Oh, that's all right. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, just strong. It's going to require in play off the tee, good iron play, great recovery play. I mean, it's either got to be like Dustin was just striping everything and hitting every fairway and green, or you're going to have to get up and down quite a bit.
Yeah, you're going to have to be pretty good everywhere, right? You have to be pretty good everywhere. 12 yards, right.
Not bad.
Easy. Easy.
Well.
Oh, my God.
I mean, you think this is them at 12 on the stimp.
Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
I mean, this is my only potential issue with the US Open and greens like this is it going to make it a little bit, too much jeopardy? Is it a little bit, where's the clown's face and, oh, hello, where's the clown's face and the windmill kind of thing?
You just chip it in, don't you? Just chip it
in. Just nonchalant.
Just chip it in.
We don't want to look at that on the screen too long.
Here a week. Right, let's get into some of these questions while we're playing. God God of Golf 888. Well, that sounds very,
cursor gone there?
very strong handle you've got there, my friend. Hi, I bent my Mizuno irons one club weak 4 degrees to get rid of the offset. I feel like I'm now not striking it as clean.
You're going to have added 4 degrees of bounce as well. And 4 degrees is a heck of a lot to move loft. Lie, you can maybe get away with it. 4 degrees is an awful lot to move loft. And you're going to raise the leading edge a little bit. So actually you've got to get it higher up the face to get the sweet spot. You generally stick to 2. So 4, whilst you're taking a lot of offset out, it might look a little bit strange, but and depending on...
Could he grind the back off?
I wouldn't recommend it. Wouldn't recommend it. In theory, you take the bounce back down, you should get the same kind of strike point, but it's still... They generally, if you move the lofts a club in loft, which is an awful lot. So advisable to move them back a couple of degrees, I would say.
Kate Davey in the house, tuned in
Mrs.
from
D.
Chicago. She is out there.
Morning, what do we know? Afternoon?
Chicago,
Afternoon.
yeah, be afternoon.
Yeah.
Elite 15 women, and she's doing Elite 15 doubles. She's holidaying at the moment, obviously. She's out there holidaying.
Yeah, acclimatising.
Acclimatising.
Means going for very long
Acclimatising.
runs around Chicago.
Big wishing you all luck for this week.
Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
Thursday. Late our time, I think it's going to be about 1 a.m. I think our time, which makes it about 8 p.m. their time. But yeah, we had a great finish last year, and obviously recuperated well from the ankle injury, and really looking forward to seeing what she can do this time around.
Absolutely, lots of luck. God of Golf says trailing edge bounce hitting the turf. Yeah, we just covered that. Vision Force, hello guys. Does offset in my irons make the ball go left?
So the principle is the offset gives the toe more time to square up. So in principle, fractionally, but what we'll tend to do is visually, the more offset there is, we'll tend to try and get the, I'm borrow on Stuart's clubs here, we'll tend to try and get that part of the club aligned with the hosel. So if it's offset and you have it dead square, it can often look open. But if you get the toe aligned with the hosel, it looks square. So what that means from a setup point of view is part of the offset basically lets you toe it in. And that is part of the reason why it helps reduce a little bit of fade. But in principle, the offset means a little bit more time for the face to square off, but it is marginal.
Get yourself up on the hockey.
So what have we got? 2.
Well, it's given you a hole out on that last one, so it says you've got a birdie.
That clearly doesn't know my game very well.
Very upsetting, that. Very upsetting.
277, we're uphill a little bit. I don't want to get to that bunker.
So while you're working that in your head,
I'm just going to risk it and try and get it close to it.
Iggy Whiskers.
Oh, nice.
Iggy Whiskers, what a handle that is.
That's an awesome one.
Does the face send and the path bend, or does path send face bends? No, face sends, path bends. I've read it, that it changed from one to the other when data showed the original thoughts were wrong. Yeah, if you were a player, you kind of knew that anyway. But yeah, TrackMan backed that up. You're absolutely right. KDYW. Love the concept. Using the handle to move the head has transformed my game. However, for some reason, my wedges frequently are pulled straight left without much curve. That's because your path is a little to the left. And check out my steep to shallow videos. That should help you out. All right.
All right. I just decided to go for it and try and get it close to that bunker, leaving myself a short wedge in.
Boom.
A little bit of a pull. Am I going to get away with it?
This is a par 4, right? Yeah, it's par 4.
Oh
no.
That's a stinker.
That's not nice.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to see that.
Straight off the face as well.
Nobody likes to see that. I think I would have been able to compete well in the US Open with the way I drive it. I think I would. This is my type. This is my type of tournament. So these are the bunkers up the right hand side.
Yeah.
Right?
So there's that one that kicks across it.
I'm going to hit down the left with a little bit of Virginia.
He means a fade to those that don't understand.
Have some of that. Have some of that.
It's a very small amount of fade, but it's...
Well,
I've just done that. Oh dear, I've just seen where the flag's position is, where I'm going to be playing from 80 yards. That was a really dumb miss.
Virginia down
Look at that. Jeepers creepers. What are we going to do here?
Good luck with that. While you're hacking around with that.
On these screens as well.
The Yorkshire Blade. Great show, as always, guys. Keep it up. Many thanks. Oh, you're welcome, Yorkshire Blade. Nice to have you in the house. John Burton, what are your thoughts on the Ping Bunker Club?
So, interesting, I've had a couple in today. We were discussing that club in that for UK conditions, I'm not 100% sure it's a great idea. The sole is so wide. Actually, have it here. The sole is so wide, as you can see from this, that it's got a huge amount of bounce, and it's a very wide sole. So, massive amount of there, and that sits very proud of the leading edge.
Is this a specific bunker club?
Yeah. It's 64 degrees of loft. You've got to hit it blooming hard to get any forward momentum on it.
I mean,
and with that amount of bounce, it's got to be soft sand. So if you play in soft sand conditions, you still got to hit it really hard to get it out. Over here, where we get either no sand or very firm in wintertime, it gets wet, useless in those conditions. So if you have soft sand and you hit it really hard, you may be okay. But
I'm sorry.
I'm not convinced myself.
I'm sorry, not a fan of that. Not a fan.
So right, so I'm going to just have a hack at this, aim a bit right so I'll get less carry. I'm actually going to hit this off the front here.
KDYW, I should mention that this doesn't really happen with my other irons yet. That's a path issue.
Hit and hope. Hit and hope. This is what this is.
There you go.
I'll take that.
Yeah, that'll do you. That'll do you.
Elegant swing.
That'll do you. I love Turtle. Welcome. James,
Turtle.
are we broadcasting in black and white, missing the usual Wham tribute? Don't know what it means by the Wham tribute.
I think
it's talking about us too.
Bright pink, things like that.
Got it. Kevin Phillips. Hi guys, wondering what Simon's view is on the hard soft stepping. Worth it, or are there so many other options out there to try? Thanks as always.
It's something we do. We do soft step and hard step. If going between, ultimately, if you're trying to make the shaft the equivalent of about a gram or two heavier or lighter, from a flex point of view, it won't it's not going to change the flex by anything noticeable. But if you're trying to mitigate a little bit, going up from, say, from an S to an X, you're often going 3 or 4, maybe sometimes 4 or 5 grams. If you're trying to find a middle ground, you're either taking the stiffer flex and just taking the edge off of it, or you're just bolstering the less stiff flex. It is something we do, but it is a real fine tune.
82 yards uphill. Or 77 yards up to now. 82 yards.
Cheeky pin. I did go for difficult pins.
I don't particularly like that flag, to be honest.
Ooh, might not have liked the flag, but got to look at and this is the thing with this course. So that ball's
it's on the green.
We'll
take a 2-putt there. We'll take a 2-putt there. No, as long as it doesn't give me a 3-putt.
I've now got the.
Oh, Ali.
Oh Christ! I need to see what the ground's doing here, because otherwise I could stick it in the bunker.
Quick game is a good game, Simon. Quick game's a good game.
Yeah, don't worry about the stuff.
You know what I mean? So Kevin Phillips.
26 yards.
Alien Blob 21. These handles are getting stronger. What is the ribbon on the back of a wedge, say a Vokey T-grind, and doesn't this actually hit into the ground, making the bounce play higher?
So by the ribbon, I assume you mean the ridge that's on the back, and the answer is yes. However, the bounce itself is...
Oh, mate, it's given me a birdie putt.
Oh, cheeky.
Come on.
The bounce number is significantly lower than the actual bounce on most of the wedges. So what the ridge does is it does accentuate the bounce just a touch. So in the UK, a lot of the time, our church pews, very famous hole at, I was going to say Pinehurst, at Oakmont. So in the UK, we tend to soften that crest down because the grass sits finer and tighter to the turf, and it's a firmer base. So we want it to skid through a bit more. But if you play on softer turf, then that ridge can actually help just to stop it digging a little bit. So depending on the conditions you play in, we might smooth it off or leave it on.
What tees are we playing off? We're playing
As far back as we could, so they're about 7-1.
Okay.
But we're so about 500 yards shorter than they'll be playing.
Okay, all right.
Ooh, it's gone. Looks like you went for that one.
Yeah, draw. I need draw. I need draw.
What I noticed, as I understand it here, is that the fairway bunkers look much deeper than they are on a lot of the other courses. So they're not just aiming points like you see in a lot of the sort of resorty kind of courses. These are actually real proper kind of horrid things that penalise you for going in them.
Right.
Got the decent swing.
Alien Blob 21. What is the ribbon? Nice drive. What is the ribbon on the back of
just done that one.
A wedge? Oh no, I've asked that one. Sorry. The Yorkshire Blade. Played Mizuno wedges forever. Have dabbled with Vokeys and never really liked the feel. Found out Vokeys are not forged this week. That makes sense.
Yeah, and very few are forged, actually properly forged. So the Titleist aren't. You can get what they call a cold forged version in Asia. But basically they last a little bit longer, and with the amount of grinds that they make and head shapes, it's less dear to make. And actually the hardness of the metal on the Rockwell scale isn't as hard as you might think, but it does create different sound, and that's probably what you're noticing.
Matthew, hi, great show. Thank you, Matthew. As always, got the dreaded lambs. I don't know what lambs are, but I think you mean shanks. Oh, lamb shanks. Okay, I got it. I've never heard of it referred to as lambs.
I hadn't, but I like that.
Okay. At the minute, filming myself looks like I fall into the ball and cast at the ball. Any tips, please? Well, don't fall forwards and don't cast it. I would check your grip. If you're casting it, it means your face is trying to get back square. Check your grip it lighter. That'll give you a bit more lag and load, and then that way, hopefully, your face isn't wide open and causing you to cast it. Hopefully, that'll help you out, Matthew.
Because I do it a little bit as well, which is the main reason I have, over the years, crept a bit further away. It's just make sure you're not balanced at address too far on your toes, because that's what I move off it, then I have to move back into it. So that would
be unlikely that he's on his toes to start with, I would think, if he's moving onto the toes. That would be my guess anyway. Maca00, evening guys. It doesn't say anything else other than evening guys.
Yeah,
nice
good evening.
Stephen Duncan, good evening gents. I currently play an i210 AWT regular shaft, 1/2 inch long with standard grips. Looking to move to a mid-sized grip. What would you recommend? Had a few issues with tennis elbow.
So you don't want to go to a grip that weighs a lot. So a standard grip is around 55 grams, 55 grams. Some mid-sizes got 63, 64, 65, 67 grams. So if you've suffered with tennis elbow, some of that might be actually the grip pressure you're having to exert from a golf point of view, having to hold on too tight. But going a bit bigger, if you're looking to take a bit of sting out, one grip I would generally have recommended would have been one of the Lamkin Sonar mid-sizes. However, they've just been bought by Superstroke, and it's in a process of a little bit of a changeover of models, because they've got a little bit of cushioning, but they've still got a decent bit of grip well out of there. So they generally give quite a good combination of a bit of purchase and a bit of cushioning. Otherwise, it's not like a standard tall velvet. Anything bigger will take out some of the kind of actual grip pressure you've got to exert to kind of cling onto the club. So, but if you can get hold of some of those Sonars, I think they're really good.
Fabo. Papa B, hello young men, welcome to my hometown. They'll have the greens at 14.5, 14.9.
Now we find out where he's from.
Hopefully it will stop raining every day. Do you think Bryson has an advantage with 37.5 wedges out of that rough? No, I don't, personally.
Well, if it's been raining, then it's going to be thick enough and heavy enough that even he's going to struggle. So if his driver's on...
He's talking about his wedges. He's asking about his wedges, 37.5 inches wedges out of the rough.
I think anyone's knackered who goes in it, I think, yeah.
Noel, 1988, evening gents. I recently got a Stealth 2 forward. Just wondering what we can... Have a go.
That's right, no, I'm trying to multitask.
Just wondering what can happen if the 50-gram weight is taken out completely, other than head getting lighter.
Well, what you're going to do is you're going to lose...
Nice shot.
You're losing, thank you very much, a lot of mass at the bottom of the club head. And actually, 50 grams is 25 odd swing weight points. So it's going to be absolutely horrific to use. You're going to have no feel of the head. You lose a bit of ball speed because there's just less mass going into the back of the ball. But yeah, I wouldn't do it. If anything, they do start heavy. So take a ½ inch or so off the club if you're finding it a little hard work to swing. But I would do that rather than take the weight out.
Oh dear.
Going to see a lot of that this week as well, though.
Yeah. It's not
Because they're just such steep slopes.
Yeah. Need another chip in.
Who do you think's the best kind of greens in reg long game player on? Oh, I thought it was another chip in.
I know.
Who would you put as the best? I mean, Morikawa's got to be up there.
Short game.
Or just generally kind of tee to green, fairways, greens, best kind of most stable long game.
I think Oberg.
Right.
Oberg,
Yeah.
I think, was relentless, isn't he? Great off the tee, great iron player.
Yeah.
I think he could be a danger man this week. He had a bit of a dodgy first round this week in the Canadian Open, but backed it up with some decent play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd love to see him
He'll be
win
strong,
one of these.
isn't he?
Yeah.
Both won over.
Right.
Double bogey for me there. Bit disappointed.
Harsh.
Disappointed.
Harsh.
Very disappointing.
Well, what have we got? Right. Oh, a par 5.
Oh, about time too.
Par 5.
About time too. Chris C, I play dynamic gold 105 stiff in iron shafts and really suit. I've seen a bargain set with KBS dollar taper stiff. What are the differences?
So dollar taper stiff, so he plays 105 stiff in the Dynamic Golds.
Yes.
So dollar taper stiff's 120 grams. So they're 15 odd grams heavier, but you've also got completely different balance point to the shaft. The dollar tapers, the balance point's very much kind of upper midpoint. It's not counterbalance, but it's not a tip balance setup. The Dynamic Gold 105s, the balance is down the bottom end. So you've got a 15 gram dead weight difference and a different balance point. So like a different sport.
Bama says, KDYW, I should mention that this doesn't really happen. Oh, that's right. Okay, sorry, I answered that. Yeah, go for that. Bama number 1. Good evening, gents. Course management question for you. On the 8th Oakmont, are you taking driver or are you going to lay out with a 5-iron? Taking driver every day of the week.
Going for it. Yeah, going for it. I think
Driver
it's one of those
week.
things where that's the par 3. I think what you're going to see the players do is play for the front right of the green. But you want to get close to the green. You don't want to leave yourself a 40, 50 yard shot in. They're not going to lay up short right of the bunker and leave themselves 50 yards in. They're going to put it as close as they can. And I'd do the same. Must be.
Must
Yeah,
be.
we're back.
We're
Right.
back. Welcome back. Slight interlude with audio. Like to keep you on your feet.
What have I got?
And toes
240. Or 240, that's just black 5 wood at it. It's probably a long 5 wood.
So we got lots of questions. So we're going to need to rattle through.
Right.
Keep cracking.
Oh, I thinned it.
Chris Powell. Hi guys, have a TM M4 driver with Aquator ZX 255 M4 shaft, which Simon fitted me for a while back, and I love it. Have just won a Titleist GT3 driver. Can I switch new head into the old shaft?
Yeah, certainly doable. You'd have to take it off the tip. But ultimately, it's no different than taking an iron head off or a fixed head off. You just take it off the adapter and then you glue it back on. So you may get a very small change in club length, quarter inch or so maximum, but certainly doable, yeah. Oh, nasty shot here.
Okay. Okay, we are back.
No, we're back on, right? Yeah.
Back in the game. Back in the game.
It's an interesting mentality when you get a course. When you get a course that's this hard, is actually kind of mentally accepting that you're going to make bogeys. That I think that's one of the things that the pros do so well. They accept the odd miss.
Yeah.
That almost pass it to a different place. And I think that's what a lot of us do. Just sort of amateur golfers do wrong is actually judge themselves too harshly on a hard course, thinking, oh, why aren't I shooting my handicap? Whereas actually you just got to, this week's all about accepting
the bad shots.
Bad shot, bad break, a shocking lie in the rough, all of that.
So Nana, if I put some lead tape on the shaft of my wedges with S200 shaft, will they essentially be like playing S400 shafts?
I mean, technically, yeah. I mean, the only thing that between S2 and S3 and S4 is the weight sorting. So the S4s are a couple of grams heavier. So yeah, if you were to put a bit, a few grams, 2 or 3 grams of lead tape on the shaft, then yep, that is exactly what it would do.
Mark Rowley, I've got the lands is the comment of the night.
I'm going to remember that one for a long time. Yeah.
So again. Yeah. Coming back. James. Oh, okay, cool. KD. Oh, hi guys, Jamie Linton. Talking of different length par threes, I'm currently hitting my long irons great. However, I noticed my left miss is far more common and more pronounced with short irons and wedges. Any idea why?
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's far easier to get the face squared up with a shorter iron, and actually, if you get the face a little bit closed, actually the loft can be looking left a bit as well. So I've seen a lot of players suffer more with over closing or over drawing in a shorter iron. A longer iron, it's a wider swing, you're clearing out the way, more tend to leave the face a bit more open. So it's something that sometimes, I find my misses a little bit more left with a short iron versus a mid iron, just due to, I think it's lever length. You have to exert less force to square it up on that shorter lever length for me.
Yeah, so short irons and wedges will respond to a path error, whereas when you have loft, the ball will respond more to face to path error. So your path will be going more offline, or will be the same with both clubs. But when you have more loft in your hand, the golf ball will respond to path more than loft direction. That's why you'll hit your short irons more left than you did your longer clubs. So Iggy Whistler, Stuart, I appreciate your focus on the importance of finding our personal grip. No, not a personal grip. I believe there is one grip for everyone. This is so overlooked by all golfers. You are welcome. Let's go back to this one here. Kevin Phillips, sorry, second question. Would you consider steel fibre to counterbalance? And his original question, he was asking, wondering what Simon's view is on hard and soft stepping. Worth it, or are there so many other options out there to try?
Counterbalance. So steel fibre, and they're very stable to weight, so you're going to get a very stable shaft there, but they haven't got to reinforce the tip as much as steel because there's more wall thickness, so will play a slightly higher balance than a lot of steel shafts. Again, it's really what suits you and your timing as to whether it's going to be a good thing or not. But generally, if you're quieter with your arms, more of a rotation-based player, or more of a body-based player on pulling on the handle with your arms, then that's when the steel fibres tend to work quite well.
Papa B, hello young men. Welcome to my home. I've done that one. Goodness me. Noel 1988, evening gents. I recently got a Stealth 2 forward. We've done that one already. Goodness me, sorry team. Chris C, I played Dynamic Gold 1. I've done that one already because I've gone back to the James Linton one. That's why I saw that pop up.
Good to be thorough, though.
It is good to be thorough. Good to be thorough. Nana. If I put some... No, I've done Nana. That's the lead tape one, no? And then Kevin Phillips, sorry for the second question. That's why I went back. So Jason Owen played a pairs open on Sunday. Stapleford score 38 points. Official England golf handicap. The winners scored 48 using iGolf handicap. What's the point of amateur golf if it's not a level playing field? Well, take that up with the R&A and,
Totally
and
agree,
England
though.
Golf.
Yeah.
Alien Blob 21. How are Project X 5.0 iron shafts balanced?
They're kind of lower mid. They're not particularly tip balanced, but due to the kind of structural stiffness in the lower half, the Project X's tend to swing a little bit more than kind of midway down the shaft. So they're not heavily tip weighted, but more kind of lower mid.
Very good, very good. Matt Holiday. No. Best two shafts from my fitting were Project X 6.5 for feel and X100 for strike. Would Project X 7.0 be the best of both worlds with the feel of Project X with the weight of X100? 7-iron speed is 100 miles an hour, you lucky man.
I mean, I personally don't mind. The thought of a 7.0 Project X just makes my elbows wince. I mean, it's an interesting one. In principle, that should bring both together. Yes, in principle, because it will feel that bit tighter than the X100. Even though the X1's a very stable shaft, the Project X is going to feel a little crisper. So, but yeah, the 7.0s are up there at the 130, 132 grams. So yes, in theory, that should match up well. Still, 7.0s. Oh,
Max Holiday.
strong boy.
Max Holiday, who are each of your picks for the US Open? Well, I said Oberg for me.
I mean, outside of Scheffler, I think Lowry.
Very good. Day V Photo. Hi chaps, could you please recommend a putter grip that sits between the 3 and 5 Superstroke using the Prayer Grip TX at the moment?
Ooh, it sits between them. That's an interesting one. There aren't many. 'Cause it's big without being ridiculous. I can think of some in the past that there have been. There was a Win X 118, but that's not around anymore. There have been things like some of the two thumbs or the... yeah, it's an interesting one, that. I'm not aware of many. You get things like the Golf Pride, the reverse taper, where part of it is that kind of size, but yeah, there really aren't many.
Heinz Motion asks, after impact, your club stays face up. I see many golfers turn the face down through release. Care to comment? Yeah, how your face orientates through strike depends on path line, grip, angle of attack, pivot, ball position, all of that stuff. So there are lots of attributes as to why the face orientates the way it does. Unlimited Power 888. How does leading edge and trailing edge bounce affect strike differently?
So, leading edge really just protects against the leading edge getting into the turf. So if you're someone who's a little bit steeper or tends to get a strong shaft lean, and by that I mean get kind of a strong kind of handle forward delivery, or you're steep down onto it, then the leading edge bounce or beveling, which a lot more clubs have now, just protects that leading edge getting into the turf too quickly. And then back edge is how, as you exit, how it allows the club to exit. So essentially on wedges and shorter shots, where you tend to work the club head a little bit more that way through strike, more back end underneath, then it can affect how deep the club goes. And a lot of club heads now on the irons are starting to incorporate a little bit of rounding on the back edge so the club can accelerate through the turf. So depending on the shot you're playing, a trailed leading edge reduces the resistance and lets it get through the turf quicker, but reduces bounce, and a heavier bounce kind of stops it digging into the turf but can slow it down slightly.
Very good. Give it a whack off the tee there, Simon, if we're going to continue to play. Lovely. TP Hartley 999, even guys, even TP Hartley 999. Currently play a 9425 iron and struggle with height and spin from 7-iron up. Would irons with more loft help? Thanks.
Yep, loft will help. I mean, the 245s are not massively low spin, but they are. Oh, G425, oh, sorry, I hit it the wrong way around. The head style is going to take spin off. So yes, you want a bit more. Loft will help if you're struggling with launch angle and spin. Any extra loft is going to help get the ball airborne. However, as a head, the centre of gravity sits very low, and even in the shorter irons, that can gear spin off. So actually a slightly less forgiving head, you might think might not be the way to go, but actually is going to help with ball flight and spin control. So something like you take Ping's range, an I-230 will retain more spin in those shorter irons because the lofts are a little bit weaker as well.
Fab.
I've just decided again just to whack this up the fairway.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those golf courses. You just take belt driver.
I think if you're hitting drive well, just take it and leave yourself shorter in. I think I've leaked that a little right.
Oh, it looks like it's
so
just going to
close,
flick in. Blaine O'Hare says, hello, men. Recently seen a video of my swing. I think it looks like my spine angle is too upright at address. Any tips on how to get the proper bend forward at address? Think about the pressure that you're trying to put on the handle. Get yourself a TheraBand. Wrap it around your neck. Put your hands underneath your chest, and that pressure there is what you're looking for. Now, the more you're on the toes of your feet and you apply pressure down, the more you'll topple over. If you're standing too upright, your hands will be hanging out in front of you. That's lack of pressure underneath on the TheraBand. Once you start to feel it a bit more underneath you, you'll start to get yourself into a slightly better posture. That's a decent way of trying to find posture without me seeing you.
Does that also help with just that balance side of things? Because that looks like
absolutely.
Either way you're going to tip up or down when you find a nice sort of stable position.
100%, and then feeling it through your feet as well. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, come on. Oh, that wasn't very well struck, but it might.
Was the face square? Ooh.
Yeah, she was horrendous. Gosh, that had a little bit of hook on it, shall we say. That's probably the worst shot I've ever hit on here. Oh my goodness, what have I got left?
228
out of thick rough.
Thick rough, and you've got a lot of carry to make there.
This might be a hybrid time.
Hit and hope.
Might be hybrid time.
Anything over the yellow rough, I think, is the...
Any over the yellow rough, right. Okay.
Giddy up.
In the air. Stay in
Giddy
the
up.
air. Oh, nasty. Nasty. Nasty.
Tough one. Well, I've got 155 out of a bunker. What's the lip like? Steep. Well, I'm gonna just have to hoist this one up and hope it carries far enough. Hoisted 9-iron, I think.
Let's have a look. See, Lowry is winning the US Open this week, Blaine says.
Right. Didn't strike that. Hopefully it's going to limp somewhere close.
There you go. Very good. Lewis Keynes, hi guys, can you explain angle of attack please and best practices for when going on a simulator? What sort of numbers are acceptable? What does steep and too shallow, where does too steep and too shallow come into play? Angle of attack is simply the descent angle the club head has towards the ground. When you're playing an iron, the more loft you have, the more downstrike you can get away with. So you could get away with 5, 6, 7 degrees of down. As the loft comes off, so too does your attack angle. Wants to come down to maybe 1 or 2 degrees with as much as 3 would. If the ball is moving further forwards in your stance, though, the angle of attack will reduce purely because you're meeting it later in the circle. Shallow can mean inside out and also mean a light angle of attack. Just depends on which one you're referring to. But really, in truest form, shallow is angle of attack is light. Best practices, play around with ball position and play around with shape. The more you move the ball back, the more you'll see your angle of attack increase. The more you move it forwards, the more you'll see it reduce. But just have a play around with it. The more you hit down, the lower the ball flight will come out. The less you hit down, the more your flight will go up. That's a loose rule of thumb for angle of attack. Right, my shot out of the absolute cabbage. Wonderful.
42 yards.
Yep.
At least you got plenty of green to work with.
Yes, yeah, what a wonderful thing to have on your side.
Sit.
Oh, trap. Has that gone in the trap?
I believe so.
Yes.
Oh,
no.
29.
No, semi-rough.
Just short. Oh, just short. Yeah.
Semi-rough.
29 yards.
Semi-rough.
I've got to work out where. I'm going to guess this is a little bit right to left. And I'm just going to hit and hope. Try and land this about 15.
Macca 09, are Paradigm X irons with graphite shafts a suitable iron for someone with a swing speed around 70 miles an hour?
70. Well, the Paradigm X's are Paradigm X's.
Paradigm X's, yeah.
They are quite a low loft, so it depends on your launch. If you get the ball up in the air quickly, then yes. I mean, the other way to look at it is to say, well, in the Paradigm X, the 7-iron is a 6-iron loft, and therefore, if you're playing 6 to pitch and gap wedge or A wedge as opposed to 5 to pitch, that's essentially what you've got because of where the lofts sit. So, yeah, don't be too ambitious with how long a iron to hit. But in principle, yeah, forgiving head and the shaft weight, in theory, based on a moderate speed, should make it quite playable. And I've got to barely hit this.
Richard Skinner, hi Stuart. I have noticed in recent videos that you have stopped.
I can hit this soft enough for this shot.
That you have stopped giving coaching advice in the live show. Is this intentional? I answer every question that comes up, Richard. So ask a question and I will gladly answer it. Nothing intentional at all. James Linton, hi guys. Sorry. Okay. No worries. The left rough. Simon, how does Modus 105S compare to KBS Tour Light S or X? And then he goes on to ask me a question. So you maybe ask that one.
So KBS Tour Light X is 105 grams, S is 100. The Modus 105S is more like 100 and 203, but again, balance point in the tip. So Modus 105 is designed around softer handle, stiff tip, balance down the bottom. The Tour Lights are upper mid, so they swing very differently. The Tour Lights will feel a bit more responsive.
Stu, my path is in to out 3 degrees. I'm starting to strike some short irons, high toe side, and for some reason leaving face open. Any tips? I would literally be guessing. So I'm not into guessing on that one. That's quite specific with what you're asking. I can't really give you any advice on that one. The left rough, did Nick ever get his irons fitted before he left? I see he is doing his own channel content. Yes. Did he get his irons fitted before he left?
A little while back. Yeah. Done some fitting. KBS Tours. He was in.
Yeah, lovely. Yorkshire Blade, if I change out the grip on my TM-ZT to a reverse taper, will it ruin the ZT?
No, it shouldn't do at all, because essentially you're not changing the plane of where the mass is. It's just a mass at the top of the shaft. So because of where the shaft installs, it's how the weight of the head and the forces around how the head gears around the shaft is what makes it zero torque, not the grip.
Got it. Got it.
This is a bugger of a hole.
Yeah, that's a nice flag, that. Oh, and that's gone.
So I know
left.
this green pitches quite strongly right to left.
Yeah.
And so actually that isn't a bad miss.
Yeah. I'd much rather miss it on the green, though. 216. Right. Who have we got up next? Simon Langford. Oh, we're getting through them. Evening, guys. As always, a very informative show. Thank you, Simon. Just to say, I caddy over here for the pro of 30 years at Oatmeal, and he says it's by far he's ever seen it. It's by far the best he's ever seen it, probably by a long way.
Yeah.
Good to hear. Lovely. Tom Ashmore, evening, gents. Which 7-woods have been performing best in the Bay this year?
Ping's always performed really well, and actually I think the Ping and the Callaway Elite, mainly because if you're going to that loft a lot of the time, for the majority of players, that shallower profile helps to pick the ball up and flight it. You're generally going to that loft for most amateurs to get height and carry. The pros would probably play a slightly deeper face, so something like the TaylorMade for higher speeds because it keeps the spin down a bit. But actually, for most players, the shallower heads, the Elite and the Ping, because they keep a bit of flight on. GT1 is also pretty good for that too. Right.
Right.
Just gonna give this a boot and hope. Oh, if I come off it again. Oh, I hit that really well. Oh no, that is vile.
Graham Jones, Simon, would I notice a difference between KBS Stiff 120, his current club, and a 105, or should I go to a regular I'm and old 5 handicap?
You would absolutely notice the difference between a KBS 120 and dropping down to 105. It's just whether it's a good change or a bad change. Chances are, when you're dropping weight will make it easier to swing, but you might lose some feel and control. If you've played a 120 or ground for a long time, then it may be too much of a change. 10 grams is going to be really noticeable. So if the 120 on good swings works well but feels hard work, then something like a KBS 110 could be the option. Dropping it down a bit further, unless you're really looking to take a bit of intensity out the swing and the shot to make it easier to use, and easier to swing, and take a bit of heat out the swing, then that might work. But you might find you've got to consciously take a bit of swing speed off. And my goodness, what have I done?
Shako, good evening. Looking at a Titleist GT2 and a Ping G440 3-wood, which is higher launching and lower spinning?
GT2 or 440? You probably find that the 440 is both higher launching and lower spinning. GT2 is very much mid-launch, mid-spin. We found that the Pings this year are notably lower spin than they've been in the past, but they still flight it pretty well.
Very good.
Oh, jeepers. This is just...
Give it a whack.
Yeah. Oh, we're 20 yards. Oh, and I've knifed
Matthew Foster, hi gents. In the graphite design, HD similar to the DI?
Sorry, the DI got the DI bit.
In the hi gents, in the graphite design, graphite design is HD similar to the DI?
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be a slightly more responsive feeling version, maybe a slightly softer tip, but yeah, basically, not dissimilar at all. Maybe slightly higher spin.
With a fitting, would you always check a player's wrist height from the floor to give you an idea of the correct shaft length or not?
No. No, it's, oh God, what rotten. That's an absolute disgrace. So it's a good base point, but actually then how do you stand the ball? What's your ball striking ability, all those sort of things. Yeah, it's part of it. It's a start point, but actually when you look at someone's general height, are you long-limbed, short torso, vice versa? Do you have long legs? Where's your pivot point? It kind of goes into the whole mix. And then it's really then a case of, well, how do you stand? Do you need to mitigate against sort of back injury, which makes you play a little bit longer? Or actually, do you need to go slightly shorter to get strike as good as possible? So it's a start point, but it's absolutely not something I would use to give me an answer on length.
Give it a whack, or we've got 5 minutes. We might be able 4 minutes. We've got to be able to play this last hole, potentially. Horse Racing Legends, good evening. Good evening, Horse Racing Legends. I've put 10 grams lead tape on the toe of my Q10 driver. Ooh. It seems to have stopped the club, stopped the double cross.
That's because it's going to do that. That's 5 swing eight points. That is a heck of a lot. If you've had to put that much on to make it not go left, then it's the wrong setup in the first place.
Bosh. Bosh.
Miss it.
Done it. Bosh. Beautiful. Nice drive. Nice drive. Nice drive. All right.
Sounded pretty solid.
Yep.
We're picking the tee up quickly for that one.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Okay there. That plays. That plays. That plays.
159 in.
159.
I think, yeah, of course, it's got that Mackengate freeway they go over twice, doesn't it? This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, back flag. Little fade with an 8-iron. Oh, I think I've left that right. Left that right.
Yeah.
Catch a piece. I'll chip that in.
Yeah, the way you're chipping, it's not a problem.
I'll chip that in.
We've got ball's going to drift a little bit right on me. So
I have a pull hook problem that comes way too often. Any tips? If it's with your irons, move the ball further back. If it's with your driver, move the ball further back without knowing more info. Especially with driver, yeah, move the ball a bit further back.
I've completely the wrong club.
Bosh, in said trap.
Brain fart.
Zol's Epic
That was a nice swing as well.
Zol's Epic Music recently bought a QI35 7-wood. Love it. Do you think it's worth upgrading my QI10 driver to the QI35?
How well is it working? If it's working well, probably not. I looked at a number and went, oh, take a bit off a 9. Take a bit off an 8 rather than, should have been a wedge. Yeah. Idiot. Idiot. That's what you have caddies for. Stop you making daft decisions.
Very good.
We'll take the recovery though.
Very good. Very good.
That's somewhat, you've got to laugh when you make the swing, hit the shot, hold the finish, and then realise in the air that it's the wrong club.
Yeah, are you still going on about that same shot?
Yep.
Got it. Oh, almost.
Very good.
Almost. Beautiful. Well, we've got through all of the lessons, we've got through all the lessons, got through all of the questions, and we've played 7 holes, 6 holes, 7 holes, and you've comfortably beaten me, which is very disappointing.
We'll see how long it takes them to get around this course this week.
Very disappointing.
There can be some long rounds of golf out there, and some people who are distraught coming off the back of the 18th.
What have I got? Oh, I've got Richard Skinner has said. What has Richard Skinner said? I love this show, however, you have absolutely reduced the amount of live coaching, expertise and tuition in these episodes. If challenged, I can provide data to support my... Well, Richard, you're very welcome to support me with data. I'm just answering the questions that are put on the feed. It's a live show and we answer the questions. So sorry if I've not had more coaching questions. I answer my channel as well. So thanks for being with us anyway, and really appreciate you putting in your thoughts. Busy week still in the studio?
Yeah, and it's staying, I mean, so it's just, yeah, it's great, lovely.
Yeah. No, it's great. No, it's great. I mean, there's lots to look forward to in the swing now of the summer golf, and we got the US Open. And then, unfortunately, it's weird, isn't it? It feels like we've got the last major of the year, which doesn't feel quite right sometimes in July.
No, I still wish it extended that a little bit longer, but I get why it's
FedEx
moved.
Cups
but,
and
American football coverage and Ryder Cups, but yeah, it's still, I haven't got used to the fact that this is the second last one, and we haven't got another 3. Yeah. There we go.
Well, as usual, we really appreciate you coming along and for the ride here. Hopefully you enjoyed us playing a few holes. Some of us played well, some of us played poorly. But listen, it makes for good entertainment, hopefully. And a big thanks, as usual, to James. Lots of luck to Kate this week at the Worlds. We hope she goes as well as we all believe she can do. And big thanks to Barney for falling asleep. Have a great week. Enjoy the US Open and come on, Aberg and Shane Lowry. See you next week.